Today on Hearts of Heroes, a horse stuck in a rising river, trapped in uncertainty.
You've been in that cold river for about 12 hours now, extremely dehydrated.
Not very often you get to see a horse fly.
Plus, a fire department and a famous TV star surprise a brave young girl facing a life-threatening illness. And later, time is running out for a horse trapped in a fast-moving fire.
These animals can be unpredictable. They're in a very stressful situation.
Time was of the essence. The fire was rapidly approaching us.
Heroes like these foster empathy and understanding when we need it most.
First responders are highly trained and deeply committed to helping each and every member of their community. And it doesn't matter whether it's a human or, in this case, an animal.
When a lost horse was found stuck in a muddy riverbank, firefighters sprang into action in an attempt to pull off a very unique rescue.
Norco is a Southern California community sitting just east of Los Angeles in Riverside County.
The city of Norco is very unique in the way it's set up. It's city living in a rural atmosphere.
It's no surprise its nickname is Horsetown, USA.
We have 140 miles worth of horse trails. You can ride your horse anywhere in town. You can go through a drive-through with your horse.
You pull up to the local shopping center and there's a little corral for you to put your horse while you go and shop.
With such a large population of horses, first responders in the area are always on the ready for an animal rescue.
Years ago, they set up the Norco Animal Rescue Team. We are a team of volunteers from the community. We work under CAL FIRE and the city of Norco.
In March of 2024, they were faced with a rescue that was unique even for them. It all started when two people went on a horseback ride after a heavy rain.
The two riders went down to the river. For whatever reason, the horses got away from them, and one of the horses ran off.
The riders searched for the animal, but he was nowhere to be found.
This horse had traveled a couple of miles downstream where he got stranded on a little island.
The river had risen so high that the horse had no way to escape. The following day, calls came in to the Riverside County Fire Department.
There was reports of a horse stuck in the middle of the river up to its neck in water. We deal with a lot of technical rescues, so we have things to perform rope rescues, swift water rescues, but because it was a horse, there is some special considerations that we need to take into account.
While they are highly trained in water rescue, they were also dealing with a large animal. They had to consider all the variables.
What's the condition of the horse? Are we going to be able to get him up and walk him? Are we going to need some other form of transportation for the horse? You know, what are we going to need to do? So that it kind of changes it in that aspect.
The first step was to get the raft to the horse and assess his injuries.
He did appear to have some cuts, some surface wounds that we could see. He kind of just appeared to be rough shape when we first got there.
After hours of being stuck in the mud, the horse was exhausted and desperate.
We didn't know what to expect. More and more information started coming in about all the agencies that were going to be involved, and we realized that this was going to be quite a large operation.
Coming up.
His body temperature was very low. He'd been in that cold river for about 12 hours now, extremely dehydrated.
But first, while many of us use our stables, barns, sheds, and garages to keep our homes clutter-free, too much clutter can be dangerous. Here are a few tips to minimize your risk and ensure peace of mind.
So many of us use our garage to reduce in-home clutter. But did you know that they can pose many fire hazards?
Here are a few tips to lessen your risks. Number 1, declutter. Rags, boxes, and paint all have the potential to spread fire faster. 2, properly discard old or damaged propane tanks. Even a small leak combined with a spark could lead to a disaster. And finally, avoid using extension cords for prolonged periods. If they're your only option, be sure they're rated for long-term use.
So be sure to declutter, discard, and detach. An organized garage is a safe space.
The Riverside County Fire Department was tending to an exhausted horse trapped in a rising river. Soon, multiple agencies were called in, including the Norco Animal Rescue Team. Now the big question was how to get the horse out of the water and out of danger.
We got to the location, met with everybody at the incident command, and then we formed a plan to work with one of the rescue groups, which is HART, the Horse Animal Rescue Group.
Our initial thought was maybe we can stand him up and walk or ride him back across the river, but when we assessed the situation, figured out that that wasn't plausible.
Once we got the horse up on all 4 feet, we could not walk that horse out because it would probably be about 5 to 7 miles out of the area.
His body temperature was very low. Remember, he'd been in that cold river for about 12 hours now, extremely dehydrated.
Knowing that the horse couldn't survive much longer in these conditions, they came up with a plan.
Getting the horse to safety would require a very tricky helicopter airlift.
The Riverside Sheriff's Air Unit came in with the city of Riverside.
But before they could airlift the horse, he would need to be sedated.
Sometimes they want to buck and fight you. So now you factor in that there's a helicopter hovering above and probably 4 or 5 news helicopters. It's very chaotic for a horse.
A vet was called out to tranquilize the animal. Now they could prepare for the airlift.
The HART guys did an amazing job getting the harness on him and getting him safely rigged up.
Once they get him up and once he got moving, you could tell he was looking like he was saying thank you. I'll say that much.
When the horse was in the air, flying to safety, you couldn't help but to just smile and kind of laugh a little bit because that was kind of cool. Not very often you get to see a horse fly.
The animal was dropped at a nearby corral.
Once he was completely disconnected from the helicopter, we removed the harness from his body, gave him a giddy up, come on boy, and he jumped right up. He was just kind of trusting us at that point, and it was pretty amazing to see the connection that animals have with humans.
Once it was determined that the horse had suffered no major injuries, he was released back to his owner.
There was follow-up with the vet and with our animal control department. We were told that the horse was recovering and doing much better.
While this story had a happy ending, first responders know firsthand that situations like this can often be avoided. Thankfully, this animal's life was not lost, and it's all due to a group of caring firefighters, sheriff's officers, and animal rescuers who work together as a team and refuse to give up.
Never had a horse rescue before, so that's the first one.
It was just a great effort amongst the whole team. And from the assistance from City of Riverside Fire to CAL FIRE to RSO to the residents showing support and to my whole team. It was great.
We're all different agencies, but it was very cool to see us all just come together for one common goal. That's what it's all about, right?
They are such large, magnificent creatures, and they need somebody to be able to help them. And for us to be able to use our specialized training and equipment to help them in these situations is very rewarding for us.
Coming up, a brave young hero meets her favorite TV star.
No way! Nice to see you.
Every day, firefighters protect their communities from countless calamities.
But these brave men and women also serve their neighborhoods in ways that many of us may not realize.
Project Fire Buddies is an organization of firefighters from around the nation which offers support and services to children fighting critical illnesses. And we were there when they gave one brave girl the surprise of a lifetime.
Kurt DeGroot started Project Fire Buddies after seeing the positive effects meeting firefighters had on young kids, especially those battling life-threatening illnesses.
I'm a career firefighter, a paramedic. I felt like there was something there that we could do a little bit more. So that's where I developed the idea. We're gonna get the boots on the ground, create these relationships, and build these bonds with these true heroes. We turn those lights and sirens on, we bring presents, we bring gifts. Every child's different, so we listen to what they want.
Today, they are teaming up with the Cicero, Illinois Fire Department.
We were contacted by Project Fire Buddies that they had a child in our district that had need for their services, and we're gonna be the face of that in this neighborhood because we're the local firehouse.
On this rainy afternoon, they're going to surprise a special young girl named Raina, who's been battling pancreatic cancer.
We talked to Mom, had some conversations, found out that she's a huge fan of Chicago Fire. I then naturally asked who's her favorite character, and she told us Herman.
They reached out to actor David Eigenberg, who plays the role on the series.
Hey, David, we got a fire buddy that is a big fan of yours. Do you mind making a video for her or whatnot? And he's like, you know what, Kurt? Why don't I just go out there and we'll meet him in person? And that was huge.
I get inspired because of the real first responders, the heart that they bring, going out on runs, the genuine concern that they have for the people in the communities that they're serving.
Raina, who dreams of being a firefighter someday, has no idea that she's about to meet her favorite actor, along with some real-life heroes.
Feeling nervous. I hope I'm one of the characters she likes.
The first thing I thought was, is another neighbor's house burning down? What's going on?
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Hill. It's so nice to meet you. We got some stuff for you. We got some stuff for you guys too. Doesn't that look fun?
And I was like, what? The real firefighters in real life, actual trucks and everything.
You like the show Chicago Fire, I heard?
Yeah.
Yeah? We got another visitor for you.
Got a little surprise.
No way! No way? No way!
Nice to see you.
And then that's when David comes out, I'm like, oh! I was so surprised. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
He popped out, and her emotions, it was amazing.
Seeing her face light up, just a gift.
Are you surprised? You knew we were coming, right?
Oh,
you didn't know we were coming?
You didn't know the Cicero guys were coming?
No.
Oh, Mom keeps
Cicero,
us
man.
secret. Mom keeps us.
As an aspiring firefighter, Raina had always dreamed of seeing a fire truck up close. So David and the squad invited her and her siblings to hop in.
Come on, guys.
You guys want to go see the fire truck?
Who's gonna race me there? I'm winning. Watch out for the puddle. Hop it. Out! You beat me. Good job.
Watching the show and seeing how they help people and then thinking about it, they do that in real life.
I've been oh, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up because now I kind of want to be a firefighter because it seems so cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
I want to do that too. It's so cool. You get to save people.
One of the main things I thought about right now is I'm going to call my friend and scream at her. Guess what I saw?
You gotta call her now.
You do? Really?
No? Guess who I'm next to?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah?
I'm kind of sitting next to Herman from Chicago Fire.
Now he's not only shocking Raina, he's shocking her friends. And you can see Raina again got giddy, and she's shaking, holding her phone in excitement. I mean, it's an outstanding thing.
Hey, Sally, how are you today? You good? We just came by to say hi to Raina with all the real firefighters from Cicero here, because Raina likes first responders.
The firefighters and David still had a few other gifts for Raina.
You get one too. Just like us.
I'm an actual firefighter, guys.
Yes. Oh, where's the bag? I'm gonna give her a little something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now Raina had a surprise for David, her own original artwork inspired by her favorite TV show.
So you drew up this?
Yes.
That's really good. She shows you her artwork, and she's really thought about it. She's cared about it. She has a love that she's imbuing, bringing it into her life through her work, and that's an artistry.
It means the world just to know that she has support.
And then we're gonna see you soon, right? This is just the start. This is just day one.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So we're not going anywhere, okay? We'll see you soon on your birthday. That's all right?
Just for all of our mental state, this really made her day.
They can bring a smile to somebody's face. I'll do it anytime. And also with real first responders, Project Fire Buddies, that's just a gift.
These kids are the true warriors in this world. The world needs to slow down and see that there's kids fighting major battles, and they're the true superheroes. These kids are what makes Project Fire Buddies.
It makes me feel like fighting was worth it. Doing everything was so worth it because life is beautiful.
Coming up, a fire, a frightened animal, and a challenging rescue.
The horse was extremely anxious. He lunged out and ended up knocking over one of our firefighters.
After almost every disaster I've covered, people tell me I never thought it would happen to me. But it did, and it can. So we like to say, don't be scared, be prepared.
This next group of trained heroes survived on just that, preparation. They knew exactly what to do and how to do it to rescue those in peril.
Ontario, California is just 35 miles from downtown Los Angeles. This vibrant city takes great pride in its dedication to animals.
We have a lot of animals. We have to be progressive and be prepared in case things happen.
In addition to urban search and rescue, first responders like Chase Patterson are also trained in large animal rescue.
We have 6 to 7 guys that are trained up to deal with those specifically large animal rescues.
Part of their training involves live animals, but they also work with a very lifelike stand-in.
What we have here is a similar weight and obviously size to what a horse would be in a real one. We want to familiarize ourselves with just how large this animal is. Sometimes you don't realize it until you walk right up next to them, and learning kind of the different aspects in the anatomy. We can position it in different ways, whether it's in a dirt hole or a ditch or on its side, or tons of different situations that we might come across. We have to be able to be aware of the animal's positioning, be aware of our personal safety, because these animals are very heavy and very big and powerful.
On a warm spring afternoon, firefighter Brian Preston and his crew were called to a fast-moving property fire. But they had no idea this was going to turn into a large animal rescue.
We were just finishing up another medical aid, so we turned around to head back to the station. We saw a big column of smoke out in the distance.
They rushed to a home with a small barn on the outskirts of town.
We made it there within a couple minutes, and we realized that it wasn't just a residential structure fire. There was a horse in the back of the property.
Knowing there was a steed involved, Ontario Fire Department dispatched their urban search and rescue large animal division to the scene.
We were going from building to building. When we made our way to the back of the property, we had noticed that the horse was stuck in between the tree and the block wall. And that became the objective for us to get that horse out of there. The horse was extremely anxious. You could almost tell that it knew that it was in danger because the fire was rapidly approaching.
The frightened horse had wedged itself in so tightly, it had no way to move forward and no way to back out. And with the fire moving quickly toward the stable, firefighters had to act fast.
Typically, our rescue procedures are very fine, very precise, except in this instance where time was of the essence. The fire was rapidly approaching us. We needed something quick, something that was going to help that horse immediately. So what we did is we all banded together as the Ontario Fire Department and used our strength to push the wall over.
They made an escape route, but they had to get the terrified horse over the bricks, lumber, and debris.
But still didn't know which direction to run because it was scared. So I grabbed the horse by the halter and I decided to lead it over the pile of rubble.
But doing this was putting his own life in jeopardy.
Horses can be very dangerous. They weigh anywhere between 900 and 1,000 pounds. When they're scared, they can kick you and they can cause a lot of damage.
These animals can be unpredictable. They're in a very stressful situation. They could sense that level of stress and that level of danger. If we as a rescuer approach an animal and we're not calm and collective ourselves, they'll sense that from us.
Brian tried to be as gentle as he could, but suddenly the animal panicked.
It stepped on a piece of metal, which spooked it even further, and it caused the horse to kind of buck and leap forward. He lunged out and ended up knocking over one of our firefighters.
The horse bolted into an open area.
Thankfully, we had more firefighters that were able to intercept and grab its halter and lead it to a safe environment. Once the horse was led to safety, some of the neighbors that lived in the immediate area were able to give the horse some temporary housing until a vet was able to come and check it out and give it a clean bill of health.
A potentially tragic situation had been narrowly averted thanks to a crew of highly trained and very compassionate first responders.
I love animals. I grew up playing with horses and riding horses. We have animals at our house, so that was a big pushing factor to make sure that that horse was safe.
We take a lot of pride in helping everyone, whether it's someone's dog or cat or someone's horse. It's always rewarding to be able to help, obviously, other people, but also animals.
There comes a time when everyone needs a hero. Whether you're human or sometimes even part of the animal kingdom.
Thankfully, there are those who will put themselves on the line to save the lives of both people and pets. Hats off to those heroic guardians. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Hearts of Heroes.